How are we doing?
Good, how about you?
I'm good.
Um,
Usually you have to stay for the game to be able to ask the first question.
all right.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Since we won't see you before Thursday, or this is our last opportunity to chat with you, um, and I know you like to go day to day, but do you have a plan for who might play and who might not play Thursday? I mean, will you have regulars playing or try to hold them
Yeah, I
out?
think with a quick turnaround, I think we'll have to just manage some of those reps. But yes, obviously try to have a plan. Um, quick turnaround. These are going to be 2 important days here. We got to get back out here. We'll be in a red zone today. Um, and then there'll be a group of guys that get a lot of reps tomorrow um, that are going to be good, important reps. So based on how that goes, that'll tell me a lot for Thursday night.
How much evaluation is left? Or is most of the hay in the barn,
No, I mean, I don't think that that's ever, I mean, we're always trying to evaluate and improve. I can't see a scenario where we'd ever not want to do that and continue to try to improve the roster or continue to evaluate who we think is going to give us the best chance to win, and also who has shown enough to want to work with on the practice squad, or who could, again, we've talked about the different types of players that maybe you end up on the practice squad throughout the league, whether that's a young developmental player or maybe somebody that can be called up for the game quickly on short notice.
Mike, how do you being able to watch the film? How do you feel like Will performed in Saturday's game?
He did fine.
Mike, how do you reconcile practice performance versus preseason performance? And speaking specifically to Baker and Jennings, seems like Baker shows up quite a bit in the 11-on-11s here, but then in the games you had a hard time getting them the ball. And obviously Jennings was kind of bananas in the second half of Minnesota and some of the reserves.
Well, we don't ever underestimate the performance in a game in live action, and yeah, I don't think Javon, would have liked to have been able to connect on some of those passes and those targets. He stuck with it. I liked where his attitude was and his ability to play on special teams. And then even late in the game to try to block, we threw a screen out there to Giles, and he's attached and he's trying to finish, and then found a reception there late. So I think that shows some growth. I think that could be for a young player. When it doesn't go your way early, I think maybe it could have been an opportunity to kind of just pack it up. And I didn't see that from him. And again, my indication to that is the fact that late in the game we threw a screen to Giles, as I mentioned, and he's blocking, he's finishing, he's trying to make sure that he's protecting the guy with the ball. So sometimes it doesn't always go the way that you anticipate, or maybe the stats don't indicate that. And then for Anthony, just taking advantage of the opportunity that he got and helped us win.
Mike, I know after the game you said you wanted to talk to the medical staff on Kyle, Isaiah, and maybe even Efton. What is their status, the three of those?
I would not anticipate any of those out here today, and we'll see what their availability. Aiton will not play in the game, and so that one I know for sure, and then the other guys will continue to evaluate.
Like, being able to find offensive linemen playing new positions like Vidarian, Ben, and Cole, how much stock do you put into the limited sample you have at them at the new positions? Is there any other part of that evaluation besides them just being on the field there?
Well, I mean, I think if you're at some point in time, you're going to have to play more than one position, and swing tackle or tackles that aren't starting the game are probably going to have to play left and right. So we're going to continue to work with Vidarian and get him some more snaps over there at the right. And I'd hope that will be better. And I understand that when you're on one side and you hear calls and a play means something, and then you're on the right, what your job is on the other side may sound simple, but when it's quick, I can at least appreciate where some of the, maybe miscommunication or, the assignment could get mixed up from play to play. So, just getting him comfortable over there to be able to evaluate him at both sides.
Did Minnesota's late movement with their D-line affect some of that too? I mean, it was pretty quick.
Well, that's what movement's going to be. It's going to be on a snap, and sometimes in the run game, we're going to have to be able to do that. They're not just going to stand still on us. Sometimes we caught them, and sometimes we didn't. So there were examples where the movement, we were able to block it and gain yards in the run game, and other times where we weren't.
You talked a lot about not wanting to see guys repeat mistakes, of course, throughout their development. Do you feel like Drake, in terms of his judgment and just ball security, has shown a lot of that? And how far do you feel like his progress is at this point?
Well, I mean, I think that we have to be able to connect on passes like the one to Pop. It was making sure that both the receiver and the quarterback are on the same page, and that the ball placement is where it needs to be. I would say that tip balls, especially ones that are over the middle of the field or towards the middle of the field, are going to end up intercepted. And he's continuing to improve and continue to help us. And I like where he's at. It's just we just got to fix that. And we talked to him about not taking a senseless hit outside the pocket on 2nd and 10. And if there's nobody there, throw it away, and we'll try to convert on 3rd down, and just being smart and understanding those little, details. And then, we talked about late in the game there with Ben and being able to coach that, the 5-minute situation where we would want him to take a sack, even though as a quarterback, you're like, why do I want to take a sack? It's 3rd down and 7, and there's 3 minutes and 12 seconds left. We force them to call a timeout, or we take 40 seconds off. So those are great opportunities to learn from. And again, the quarterbacks that aren't in the game, they have to put themselves in that position. And that's what we were trying to do there at the end of the game, is to make sure that everybody was watching the situation, whether that's the last play situations on defense or the 5-minute offense with the guys that weren't in there. Don't worry about it. It's okay. I hear you too.
Kyle Duggar. I was trying to be louder. You told me to. I'm trying to be louder.
You weren't louder. I could just recognize your voice.
Okay, I'll work on it more. With Kyle Duggar, as it concerns that last play with the interception, what did you see on that, and how did you maybe coach him to either go down after or just kind of like immediately on that play? Just what did you see?
Well, just again, that's why we practice. Why we are grateful that these games can create those situations of the last play. And again, you have two choices. One, bat it down when it's the last play, which I'm not expecting him to. And then when you intercept the ball, we just have to go down. And then whenever we have the football in our hands defensively, we have to be able to secure it, and we have to be able to block, and we have to be able to get the intended receiver and do all the things now that an offensive player would do. So just simply go down there and not have to take the few extra steps to make it close.
What did you think about what the game? Drake talked about how he was maybe a little too amped up for the first part of the game, but he says he doesn't really want to change that. He likes playing with energy. Do you appreciate a quarterback who approaches his job that way? Do you want to try to calm him down as a head coach? Like, how do you view that?
Again, the personality or their whatever they're feeling, that's up to them. I think that the performance and the mentality and how we want to play the game has to be the same. So, whatever they want to feel, they're more than welcome to feel. We just need to make sure that we, execute, and that we're taking command of the huddle, and that we're operating at a high level. And again, some guys are going to be more amped than others as their own personal approach to the game.
What did you think of the left guard competition after getting a chance to watch the film? And were there any guys specifically that you thought made the most of their opportunities?
Well, we'll continue to evaluate that, that spot and that rotation, and where we're at, competing and trying to make sure that we're giving everybody the opportunity in there from the center and the left guard, and just trying to figure out what the best combination is.
What have you seen from Ben Brown this offseason, and how did he do at left guard?
Well, Ben's continued to improve, and there's opportunities. Ben's, had some good. He got us going in the run game there early. I thought he did okay. I don't think it wasn't perfect, and it wasn't, but Ben finishes, and he's firm, and we're going to continue to coach all these guys, whether it's Jared or Ben or Caden, about staying inside out and being patient in their set and timing their punch.
I'm curious how you go about playing for running back carries and how to divvy that up. Is that something where you want kind of set roles? You're a third down guy, you're a 1st and 10 guy. Do you ride the hot hand in the game? Like when you got 3 capable guys, how do you figure out how to spread that out?
Well, I think that's going to kind of take care of itself as we get a little closer, and there's some things that are game planned, and the involvement that some of them have on special teams, or plays that we like for one or the other. But I think that they're all capable, and we're excited to get them back and do some things with them. And I think the carries and production will hopefully all take care of itself.
Mike, do you expect Christian Gonzalez or Kendrick Bourne to practice or play this week?
No.
Last question, guys.
Go ahead. Mike, what do you see from Milton Williams with 3 joint practices now?
Well, I thought he had showed the ability to get into the pocket. I thought, factored. I saw there was a couple opportunities in practice for him to transition and get into the pocket, affect the quarterback. Saw that early in the game. I thought a good example of the team defense that we're talking about. He pushed the middle of the pocket. The quarterback stepped up, ran into the push that Milt created. He tried to go out of the back of the pocket. KC was there, and then the quarterback made the decision that he made, and we were able to take advantage of it, and AA was able to get the interception. So just trying to show him those types of plays that Milt didn't get on the stat sheet. KC might have got a quarterback hit, but in the end we ended up with the football on the plus side of the field and converted that into points. So I think that's the whole idea that we're preaching.